I'm pretty excited about today. We finally got some commitment from the Mayor to spend some money in Caringbah. Just want to tell me about how this all started and what really made you, as a business owner in Caringbah, start jumping up and down about the lack of care and love in this area.
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, I suppose I've been living in the area for 11 years, but only working in the area for the last year and a half. And working in the area for the last year and a half, that's when the stark reality of what's missing in Caringbah starts to become apparent. And I think that was motivated was the good news that we heard that Audi, that was in the leader back in late last year, confirming that Audi had purchased the site there at the old Caringbah market, and that's going to be redeveloped. And I thought it was fantastic. Caringbah is a bit of a forgotten soul in the Southern Shire on the train line, but it doesn't attract people here permanently. It seems to be a lot of nomadic movement of retailers in the area. So having a big draw card like Audi, I think, was the catalyst for this whole reason to have a look at Caringbah.
So you think really the main issue with Caringbah is a lack of a reason to come to Caringbah, the lack of sort of a cornerstone or a business or a major business?
Yeah, that's probably the main reasons. Like, you look at the other main villages on the train line here, and certainly Cronulla and Miranda, and now Gymea, with a lot of money being spent in Gymea of late, and now Querzoli with the big brickworks development with a lot of money being spent there as well. And Caringbah in the middle, and you could say Woolooware as well, but that's a smaller enclave, I suppose, of retail. Caringbah was once a much larger hub for a business, much larger area, much more of a draw card for people to come here for a reason to shop. That's been lost over time, it seems.
Because standing here in the car park, as we are now, there's lots of activity. Are these people just sort of dropping off and going and not really staying to spend serious money?
Yeah, that's probably it. You can see people do is the basics, I suppose, the staples that require regular visitations. Well, that day, I suppose, will always be the core that will remain. It's what feeds off that which is important, which provides ancillary services and the food and the retail shops that feed off that is an essential part of, I suppose, having good reasons to come here to Caringbah.
Okay, and if I look at the mix of shops that's here at the moment, there's a mixture of reject type shops and some services, but not really anything that's really exciting. Doesn't have the same sort of feel as Gymea, does it? Why do you think that is?
Well, I suppose if you look around and you see the expenditure in this area over the last 10 years, which is nil compared to locations like Gymea and Engadine and Cronulla, rightly so for Cronulla for its location, but there's been a lack of expenditure here. So I think a new, fresh look for Caringbah that will attract permanent retailers, which will then create permanent shoppers to the area, will be the livelihood of Caringbah going forward.
Okay, and a lot of the business owners have talked about the parking issue. How do you feel about the lack of parking? Do you think that's a real issue in attracting good businesses to the area?
Yeah, that's a big reason, I suppose. We've been pushing this drive about recognition of this area. Where should we spend our money? Who do we recognise? And there's certainly sufficient parking for the local retailers to date, and hopefully there'll be more pressure going forward if it does grow. But for local business owners, it's a real tough gig in trying to manage cars or multiple cars. And going backwards and forwards to relocate their car if they have to be that distance. So we think there's probably some other solutions to consider. There's a lot of vacant spaces along the train line, not just in Caringbah but other parts of the Shire that can be considered as permanent day parking for local resident retailers and shops and business owners in the area.
Okay, so if you have the $100,000 to spend, what would you spend it on?
I'd probably focus on the parking. That probably requires money to be spent on a proper study to look at the best options for the area, and then hopefully that'll cover some sort of capital works towards it as well. I don't know, I don't do the numbers, but I think that's a good start.
Thanks, David.